Hello, all you lovely people. Welcome to Clowning Around with me, Em Stroud. And I hope this week you have found some time to laugh and to think with kindness and to play, because you know it does indeed make you feel better. And that is what this podcast is here. So I thought I'd do a cheeky little solo episode because, I mean, how good have my guests been so far since we've been in Clowning Around again? I know you are very welcome. And oh my word, have I got some awesome people lined up for you. That is true. But today, a few little things that I wanted to do as a solo episode. Firstly, I've really been thinking about this, and I just wanted to get you all to ponder this in the nicest possible way. I want you to ponder the whole idea about your own bandwidth. What do I mean by that? Well, it's really come to my mind. Like last weekend, I was really thinking about what I thought was my bandwidth versus what actually is my bandwidth. When I say bandwidth, I'm talking emotional, spiritual. I don't know why I'm doing this with my arms, but I like it. It's like a bandwidth that I've just done with my arms. So it's like emotional, spiritual, playful, and other sound effects are available. Physical. I don't know what that sound effect means, but you get the idea. What is your real bandwidth? Now, many of you that have been following me for a long time, been listening to me, you know, I've got a fabulous son, and he is awesome and brilliant. And I now have a boy man. He is indeed now 14, and he is indeed a boy man. But for the last 4 years, or 4.5 years, I've been a single mum. And I think I had just been carrying on, doing what I thought I could do before I was a single mum, when I was co-parenting. I'm now co-parenting again. And so therefore my bandwidth has gone up. But the funny thing is, it's only as I look back on the time being a single mum that I can realize and can really appreciate that indeed my bandwidth was less than I thought it was. Now, this isn't down to me being unkind about myself. This isn't down to a lack of understanding of myself. It is just maybe that lack of awareness of what I want my bandwidth to be versus what I think it is versus what is actual reality. So if you're listening to this, I'd really like you just to ponder this for a moment. Just take a look at your life, take a look at your family, take a look at your caring responsibilities if you've got them or if you don't. Take a look at your health. How healthy are you? Are you having to really look after yourself in a certain way? Are you in recovery for something? Are you getting better? Are you in remission? Are you very lucky? Have you been working on your health so that you feel good? Then think about your work. Is your work fueling you or is it draining you? How much energy do you have? Are you finding yourself working at all hours and not within the boundaries that you yourself have agreed with yourself are appropriate? And note there's a difference there, of course, between what we believe is appropriate for ourselves versus what the world tells us. I'm a massive believer that with choice, there comes freedom. This is where I think something in terms of work, some people miss a trick, because quite often we just get busy doing and we don't take a moment to choose what our boundaries are. And at certain points in life, we are going to get really focused on our work and we're going to be working really hard. That's okay as long as we've chosen it. So you've got your health, you've got your family, you've got your work. And then also, how much bandwidth have you got for having some fun, having some good times? Have you been investing in that? Have you just been skipping all of that because the other three is too busy? Now, of course, we're all got so many different things going on, right? Especially those of us that find ourselves in midlife. You know, you've got plenty of friends that are looking after children, but then also looking after elderly parents. So you've got that midlife challenge. But if you're younger and you're listening to this, you've got the challenge of how do I get promoted? What do I even really want to be doing? What does my career look like? And if you're older than that and you're in a place of retirement, so what happens next for me? So we've all got, depending on what age we are, we all have different challenges. And we can all feel squeezed by various different responsibilities and things like that. But the gift of this really kind of landed with me when I suddenly realized when I look back on some of the decisions that I made and some of the things that I was doing them partly because I thought I should, but also I really was doing it because well, to be brutally honest, thought I had more bandwidth than I actually had. Like, the reality of life means that quite often we just have to crack on and we just have to do because there's nobody that's going to come and rescue any of us, right? But it's only by seeing that actually my bandwidth had been reduced while being a single parent that I can look back and go, oh, maybe that's why I made some of those decisions. Oh, okay, maybe that's why. And the thing that this has given me, it's given me that opportunity just to be a bit kind to myself. See, as I record this in 2026, and we're halfway through 2026. How are we halfway through a year already? How has that happened? But as I record this, understanding my own sense of bandwidth has actually really helped me be kinder to myself for the last few years. You know, it's this thing, and I think we all move into different chapters. Now, I'm about to move into a new chapter in terms of age. So, in a couple of years, I'm hitting a 0. And I'm very aware that I feel like I'm shifting into my next chapter. And part of that next chapter for me, in terms of my own bandwidth, is also really acknowledging that maybe now, at the age that I am, 47, 48, 47, 48, how old am I? That old. Is that I don't have anything to prove to anybody else anymore. And as I say that, everything within my body just goes, ugh. And it's partly because I've acknowledged that there is only so much bandwidth to do anything. There's only so much bandwidth any of us have on an emotional, spiritual, physical, financial, playful knowledge place. And if you're wondering, oh, Em, what were those 6 words? They're the 6 slices of my new pizza book coming out next year, hopefully. So yeah, bandwidth. I just want you just to take a beat and go, what bandwidth do you think you have? And what bandwidth do you actually have? And just check, are they in line? Now, the other thing I want to share with you on this solo episode was a couple of weeks ago, I spoke to the amazing Jay and we were clowning around creativity and I loved our conversation with him. And I promised Jay, because one of my blocks, and lovely listeners and lovely viewers, I know that lots of you have it, one of my blocks is, although I'm a creative being, you know, I do this. I've got my show coming up to Edinburgh. I write. I do lots of creative things. I'm a trained creative. I'm a clown and all of this stuff. If you ask me about drawing, I go, no, can't do it. Don't like it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. And when I asked Jay, so how do I get over this, my creative block? He just went, just do it. And I promised you all that I would show you my drawing. Now, for those of you that don't know, I also have a studio. So I live not that far away from my studio. And in the studio, I obviously have to walk. So I'm just telling you this before I show you my drawing because my bag might have got a bit wet because it's pouring with rain today in London. And so my drawing, my beautiful, perfect drawing, may have got a little bit splodged. However, I wanted to show you because I know for loads of people, it is just that thing of you just have to get up and just do, right? You just have to start. And this isn't me going, this is performative or anything else like this. I got a pen and I copied a picture of a front cover of a book that was at my missus's house. That's what I decided to do as my first drawing, probably in about 20 years, I'd say. Drawing does not come naturally to me. And you know what? I actually quite liked it. And you know what? The outcome, once I got over myself, I was like, it is what it is. And so actually all of the other training that I've got where, I'm an improviser, I'm a clown, I'm a performer. And of course stuff messes up, right? I've got that in my muscle memory because I'm a trained performer. And actually it started to work with the drawing. So as promised, here is my drawing. As I said, it is a little bit wet, got a little bit wet. So there's a few smudges, but here is my drawing. And if you're wondering what it is, it's a good question. So if you're not watching, if you're just listening to this, I'm showing my drawing, which is done with a single black pen. And in essence, it was a picture of a yoga book. And this is the cover of said yoga book. So it is what it is. So there you go. There is my drawing. As I said, got a bit wet. Soz about that. And I just want to say thank you to Jay again, because without Jay, wouldn't have done this drawing. And I think in a weird way, I think, yeah, you know what? Why not? Why not draw? So in regards to the bandwidth, which is obviously what I've ended up really talking about in this particular solo episode, allowing yourself a bit of space to do this creative thing really matters. Because actually then that's how we can build our bandwidth in all the different ways. There you go. Simple little episode from me, Em Stroud, the host of Indeed Clowning Around Again. And I do hope, lovely viewers, lovely listeners, that you do indeed find some time to laugh more, think more with kindness and play more, because you know it does make you feel better, right? And I've got some amazing guests lined up. I've got CEOs, I've got comedy performers, I've got people that have done bonkers stuff that I don't fully understand, but when you get to meet them, you'll be like, oh my gosh, they're amazing. Like this one woman who's coming on, she deals with sustainable environments. and actually understands what that term means and actually how it impacts us. I know, right? So we're going to be clearing around all these different awesome things. We're going to be turning around menopause, leadership. Oh my gosh, so many awesome things. So do stick around, do subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks as ever for watching and listening. Really appreciate it. Have a really great week. Cheers for now. Bye.